What is up, everybody? So before I get into the video, I just wanted to explain to you guys a little bit what you're about to see. If you guys don't want to watch the whole thing, I'm sure I put a brief description or brief overview of what I said in the description anyway. So if you want, you can just skip to like this timestamp. Usually nobody reads the description anymore, so that's why I end up posting stuff like this. But anyway, so for the rest of you guys that are going to be sticking around, here we go. So, for anybody that's followed my channel for a while, you guys know that I'm a guitar player. I've been playing guitar since August 2010. Now, I've done a lot of covers over the years, but the one thing I haven't really had much success with is writing my own songs. Now, I started trying to actively write music back in January 2014, so almost 4 years after I started playing, because I've thrown down a lot of song ideas. Like I think close to almost 30 songs, but how many of those actually are finished? 3. So I've had a hard time. Like, I come up with like a cool idea, but then when I actually tried, but then it gets to a point where I hit like a wall kind of and trying to finish it, because I get a really cool idea going, and then when I try to think more about, okay, what else do I want to put in the song, I hit a blank, because I don't know, because with a lot of my ideas, I feel like I'm just setting myself up for failure, because it's like I get something really cool and then it's like I don't know how to finish it to where it will still make sense and sound just as good as the rest of everything. So, but yeah, I've had a hard time writing songs over the years, but for 2018, I've been on a roll. Like I managed to finish three songs, like I said. Now, one of those songs is one of the first ones I wrote, back in January 2014. So it took me 4 years to finish. So that one I might be posting eventually, like one day. I got to figure out how I still need to learn the song and try to perfect it a little bit, and then I need to figure out how I want to record it. So that'll probably take some setup, but other than that, I will be trying to post that one eventually. And the second one that I did, this was actually the first song that I actually finished, and that was my song Abyss, right? If anybody saw that. If you didn't, then you can click on the little card up here it'll take you right to it, or I'm sure I'll probably put the link in the description as well if you guys want to check that one out. That one I feel turned out pretty cool, because like I had a little bit of fun editing the video for that. The song is really nothing special. It's a pretty basic chord progression, but for what came out, I was really happy with it. I might be re-recording that one again one day, just because the sound quality wasn't really too great. Well, I mean for what it was, it sounds okay, but for the most part, it's not ideal quality. So, but I don't exactly have access to a multi-million-dollar recording studio, so writing this kind of stuff is not really, like, recording this kind of stuff, the quality is going to be questionable anyway. But for the setup that I have, I can at least get it to sound somewhat decent, but eventually I will want to try and upgrade my equipment. But anyway, so in this like the first 2 songs, those are more on the lighter side of things, but now we're getting into heavier stuff, because the primary music that I play is like metal and hardcore music, because that's the primary music I want to write. But for me, writing that stuff is pretty difficult, because I'm not really good at writing riffs. You see, it's weird, because I'm not, like, for me it's easier to write leads, because it's pretty much single note stuff, so it's easier to come up with notes better. But writing riffs, yeah, because that's the thing, I'm not really a shredder, but doing leads and solos is easier. I'm probably more of a rhythm player because I have a better rhythm than lead, but I have a hard time writing riffs. So it's kind of a catch-22 if you think about it. But yeah, I don't know. That's why writing some of these songs has been a challenge. Like writing metal has been a challenge for me over the years. But this song, for some reason, this one turned out a lot different than all the other ideas that I've thrown down. Because, I don't know, I was able to finish this song within a few days because I constantly had ideas coming to me. So yeah, this one turned out a lot differently than normal. Than it normally does. Now, I posted this on Facebook first to show my friends to kind of gauge some general reactions before I decided to go public with it. And for the most part, a lot of them seem to really like it. But of course, that's just my friends. They're not going to sit there and tell me that it's bad. You guys, on the other hand, are a different story. Like, you guys aren't afraid to be honest. So, but anyway. But I feel pretty good about what came out, honestly. So that's why I don't really mind posting this one because, like I said, I really like how it turned out. Now, this song, it's very rough. Like the recording I did of this is very rough. I just played over the FL Studio project that I made for it. Because that's usually where I throw down all my ideas is in FL Studio. Because I like the interface on that better because I can hear I can hear the notes more clearly, and it's just easier for me to throw down ideas before I actually try to learn the song later. So yeah, it's going to be a very rough recording. I mean, rougher than what I usually do. But I think it sounds okay for what it is. But yeah, this song is really interesting because when I first started out, when I wanted to try and write metal songs, one of my goals was to try and write a song that doesn't just resort to using breakdowns. Because, I don't know, see, breakdowns they're really easy to do. It's really easy to fall back on those and just pad out the songs with just a bunch of breakdowns. And then just do leads over them. Like, it's really easy to do that. Because, like, if you've never even touched a guitar in your life, you could probably learn a breakdown in, like, 5 minutes. It's really not hard. Now, of course, depending on the kind of breakdown you use, some of them can be kind of complicated sounding. Like, if you do, like, some odd-timed syncopation kind of patterns, kind of like what most prog bands do, and gents and kind of stuff, some of it can be tricky to play, but for a song like this, they're really easy to just become a slave to, I guess, because I kind of look at them as like a crutch. Like they're just so easy to just insert into any song, essentially. But this is probably the closest I've gotten to not doing all kinds of breakdowns. Because there's really only 2 breakdowns. There's one during the intro, and then one during this bridge section before the last chorus. Like you guys will see what I'm talking about. Because there's this quick 16th note ho-po section. Yeah, honestly, that's the hardest part of the song right there. Because you see, I wanted to write a song that, it's simple enough to where it fits within my skill level, but just complicated enough to where it'll make me reevaluate my playing just ever so slightly, I guess. And I feel I did that with this song, so. But anyway, I think that's about everything I want to talk about. But yeah, like I said, the recording is very rough. The song is also not fully done either, because I think some of the drum fills I want to change around eventually. And also, the bass track isn't entirely done. I mean, you're not going to hear any bass in this, but see, the guitar tab that I made for it has some bass parts already done, but the actual FL Studio project I made, I didn't put any bass in it. Let's see, for the main verse riff, I'm trying to figure out how I want to set the bass up. I'm thinking, I don't know if I want it to just mimic the guitars, but I feel like that's the only thing that makes sense there. I don't know. I'd have to, unless I have, unless I get like an actual bass, I won't know how it's gonna sound. So the only way I would know if it feels right is if I play it on a real bass instead of just using like a MIDI recording, a MIDI track. So, but yeah, that's one. Those are a couple things. Another thing is I've been debating on whether I wanted to do vocals or not. Now you see, I'm not necessarily the best singer because in my early YouTube days I did used to do vocal covers, but the problem was I didn't do them right because I didn't put all my force with my voice into it because I wasn't putting as much power into it, and especially doing like trying to do like screaming vocals. I was mainly using my throat to do those, and that's not the way to do them. But in recent years, I've been trying to practice more and develop my singing voice more. It's just the problem is I still don't have much confidence in my singing voice. So pretty much the only way I can sing is if I can't hear myself. But at the same time, I sound better if I can hear myself. So that's another thing I kind of fight with. But anyway. So yeah, those are the things that I'm thinking about adding to the song one day. I just wanted to put this out now because that way it gives me more incentive to finish it later. And also it's a timing thing too because I mean, I'm sure 2 million others there's already 2 million songs out there that exist already that sound exactly like it, and I just wanted to get in there before 2 million more show up, that sound exactly like it. But I don't know, for what's there, I'm pretty satisfied with. So, but anyway, guys, that's about it. So, I'm just going to roll right into the video now. Hopefully you guys enjoy it. Now, all I ask of you guys is that you with your critiques, just be a little gentler, I guess, because you got to understand, like, I'm a pretty mediocre guitarist trying to write a song. It's probably not going to be amazing. So if you can keep that in mind and just keep your critiques reasonable, like if you're just going to sit there and just bash it, then that's really not doing anything for me. So, but anyway, that's about it. So check it out. Let me know what you guys think. I'm curious to see everyone's thoughts on it. And yeah, I will talk to you guys here soon. All right, you guys have a good one.